Today I'm going to be breaking down JAY1's track Loose featuring Miss Banks, where I'm going to be talking you through some of the things that I'm listening out for and picking up on, both as a promoter and as a curator. Before we get into the video though, I want to give a shout out to this person for this comment and just to say thank you for supporting the channel. Also, if you like new music and you want to hear more of it, go ahead, check out my main channel, Pure Urban Music, link in the description below. Let's get it.
Gally on me like low ski loose, so you bring one drawn for the broski too. My girl savage and low key rude, so you better think twice before you make that move. Top floor views and a
sick opening.
Then bop you clean or the guard them wash.
Hey, Michelin.
2022 getting straight to the bag. 2023 got the fake bitches mad. Always in the green, I don't know about you. Used to be up in the bits with the Benz and the blue.
Okay, right, so straight out of the gate, I really love that melody, right? It's got a nice bounce to it. I'm pretty certain, right, that I've heard it before. I mean, I could be wrong, right, but it definitely does sound familiar. But look, either way, right, I really like that melody. We then, we got Miss Banks. She's riding along with that melody. She's got a nice kind of bounce to her opening flow as well. And another thing that I really like about what they're doing with Miss Banks' vocals is the way that they're kind of ad-libbing those and just layering those at the back end of those lyrics. I'll take it back just a few, listen to those elements. And yeah, listen, so far so good.
You better think twice before you make that move. Top floor views and a bar with a man, then bop you clean or the guard them wash.
Hey, Michelin.
2022 getting straight to the bag. 2023 got the fake bitches mad. Always in the green, I don't know about you. Used to be up in the bits with the Benz and the blue. Soft and pretty, but a real nigga too. Skipping on beats that skip to my loo. Hear a lot of shit, I don't know what's true, but it always gone talk on the kid, nothing new.
Okay, right. I actually really like what they do with those hi-hats there and how they bring them in. So it goes and then you get the snare. I'll take it back. Just listen to how they introduce that. There's a short, sharp end to the hi-hat before the snare then drops in. And it's just a really nice touch.
Always in the green, I don't know about you. Used to be up in the bits with the Benz and the blue. Soft and pretty, but a real nigga too. Skipping on beats that skip to my loo. Hear a lot of shit, I don't know what's true, but it always gone talk on the kid, nothing new. If I shake it, make the world stop. If I pull up, make a girl drop. Niggas gassing me like pit stops, and they really know my shit hot, so they wanna grab a snack too. Yeah, he wanna taste the Kit Kat. If he bite it, then I'm with that. Up against me, that's a mismatch. Got that.
Okay, pay attention to what happens here, right? So after you get those hi-hats and the snares that I mentioned earlier, we then, we get the rest of the beat that comes in. But pay attention to Miss Banks' flow, right? So, and it's sort of like breaking it down into segments. So there's kind of two segments to the verse. So the first verse is kind of the opening, right? And she's got much more of sort of like a bouncy flow, which is following the opening melody. But then when the beat drops, right, she really switches that flow up. It becomes a lot more pacier. Lots of chops and changes within the beat as well. And that really helps complement Miss Banks' flow. I'll take it back just a few so you can listen to that.
That skip to my loo. Hear a lot of shit, I don't know what's true, but it always gone talk on the kid, nothing new. If I shake it, make the world stop. If I pull up, make a girl drop. Niggas gassing me like pit stops, and they really know my shit hot, so they wanna grab a snack too. Yeah, he wanna taste the Kit Kat. If he bite it, then I'm with that. Up against me, that's a mismatch. Got that water, yeah, that's
nice
fish splash. So the gallon wanna link too. Galley on me, got niggas on me. Me on B, or you want me on T. I was OT doing 2 on 3. Came a long way from the light and the.
Right, notice the snare roll there, just at the back end as we're in the chorus section. Listen.
My shit hot, so they wanna grab a snack too. Yeah, he wanna taste the Kit Kat. If he bite it,
nice,
then I'm with that. Up against me, that's a mismatch. Got that water, yeah, that's fish splash. So the gallon wanna link too. Galley on me, got
listen
niggas on me.
Here.
Me on B, or you want me on T.
There.
I was OT doing 2 on 3. Came a long way from the light and the B. Don't ever think about on that brown like cognac. None of them are better than me. But he said good, and that's naturally. Ain't got a brag, it's just maths for me.
Galley on me like low ski loose, so you bring one drawn for the broski too. My girl savage and low key rude, so you better think twice before you make that move. Top floor views and a bar with a man, then bop you clean or the.
Right, so you notice here, right, as we get into JAY1's verse, all that we're left with is that melody. And again, in the opening of this verse, he's following that same kind of bounce and almost rhythmic pattern as Miss Banks did when she opened up. Again, take it back just a few so you can listen to that.
Just maths for me.
Galley on me like low ski loose, so bring one drawn for the broski too. My girl savage and low key rude, so you better think twice before you make that move. Top floor views and a bar with a man, then
following that melody or riding it.
2017 I was taking losses, 2021 man's making pop. Galley on me like low ski loose, so bring one drawn for the broski too. My girl savage and low key rude, so you better think twice before you make that move.
Okay, and something else that I notice here is the snare roll, right, that was applied to the chorus and Miss Banks is actually now much more of a consistent theme within the verse of JAY1, right? And I've also heard the addition of a cowbell there, which we didn't have, or it sounds like a cowbell anyway, that we didn't have in Miss Banks' verse. Listen.
2017 I was taking losses, 2021 man's making profit. Gally on me like low ski loose, so I bring one drawn for the broski too.
Snare roll.
My girl savage and low key rude, so you better think twice before you make that move.
Cowbell.
Views in a bar with a man, then pop you clean or the girl them watch. 2017 I was taking losses, 2021 man's making profit. You didn't wanna fuck with a boy back in 017 cause the cash went hefty. Now I kick back clean with a bro with two things looking like Keisha Becky. Got a sweet one, thick and friendly, brown and bougie, leng and sexy. It's a fucking mess, G. Blow out the back, now I'm onto the bestie.
Okay, again, right, lots of chops within the beat there. But one thing to pay attention to, right, and this is more, well, I mean, for the listeners, but definitely for aspiring artists out there, right? Listen to how in this second segment of the verse, he's changed the, not just the rhythm of the flow, but he's changed the tone at which he's delivering that flow, right? So in the first segment, he wasn't really high, but he definitely had a higher tone in his voice when he was delivering the vocals. But now it's much more casual, much more laid back. Take it back. Just listen to that switch up.
So you better think twice before you make that move. Top floor views in a bar with a man, then bop you
Right,
clean
so
or the
you can
girl
see
them watch. 2017 I was
slightly
taking
higher.
losses, 2021 man's making profit. Gally on me like low ski loose, so I bring one drawn for the broski too. My girl savage and low key rude.
Get
so
ready
you
for
better
the
think
switch
twice
ups
before you
coming
make
up
that
soon.
move. Top floor views in a bar with a man, then bop you clean or the girl them watch. 2017 I was taking losses, 2021 man's making profit. You didn't wanna fuck with a boy back in 017
Much
cause
more
the cash
casual.
went hefty. Now I
Right,
kick back
much
clean with a
lower.
bro with two things looking like Keisha Becky. Got a sweet one, thick and friendly, brown and bougie, leng and sexy. It's a fucking mess, G. Blow out the back, now I'm onto the bestie. I got a thing for cash on the bank, I shut down a show, that's cash in the bank. Everybody for the boy went ghost till I step out the mist, like I'm back with a bang. None of you boys actually bad, just act for the gram and it's actually sad. One wave to the world and back, if I'm making a bag, then I split it with Squaddy. Ball too hard, too bossy, fuck a escort, never pay for a posse. I got
Right. And again, you notice there, right? We've got another change. So we get this like hit, right? Within the song, it's like dung, like this. And I know that's been there throughout other parts of the track as well. It's not the first time they're introducing it. But the real change here is that actually, right, they strip everything out this time. No drums, no bass, no melody, no nothing. It's literally, you get the hit and it is just JAY1's vocals. That's it. I'll take it back. Just listen.
none of you boys actually bad, just act for the gram and it's actually sad.
Right, the
One
hit
wave
is
to
coming
the
up.
world and back, if I'm making a bag, then I split it with Squaddy.
There.
Ball too hard, too bossy, fuck a escort, never
Nothing.
pay for a posse. I got a pretty one, I wanna bounce on my cocky. She a little one, I told her wait in the lobby. Young 3-5 in a whip, man, burn that quick, then it's back to the bits. I put like 50 down on my whip, them boys spend 50 grand on Gally on me like low ski loose, so I bring one drawn for the broski too. My girl savage and low
Back
key
up
rude,
in
so you
terms
better think
of
twice
tone.
when you make that move. Top floor views in a bar with a man, then bop you clean or the girl them watch. 2017 I was taking losses, 2021 man's making profit. Gally on me like low ski loose, so I bring one drawn for the broski too. My girl savage and low key rude, so you better think twice when you make that move. Top floor views in a bar with a man, then bop you clean or the girl them watch. 2017 I was taking losses, 2021 man's making profit.
Banger. Okay, verdict time. So what are the key things that I liked about the track? First and foremost, I really like the collaboration. You've got two very well respected and recognized artists just doing what they do best. And not only do I think they complemented one another well, but with that variation between the two artists, the overall track as well. Second standout thing for me was the production of the track. And look, you can tell, right, just by the way the whole thing was kind of structured, that whoever produced it, right, really knows what they're doing. But also in terms of the project itself, like they get it, right? You know, when you've got an artist or you've got two artists or however many there is, just kind of simply spitting bars over an instrumental, it's really important that from a production side, you take the time to keep things kind of, you know, switching up, right? You keep things fresh. And they've done this really well. There were plenty of chops and changes within the beat. You had a nice bouncy melody. And at one point, I think I noted it on the video, but they completely stripped everything out and they just left JAY1's vocals running. So yeah, top marks for the production of this track. The final thing for me was the delivery of the verses. Now, I know that I mentioned point one was the collaboration, but I'm actually talking about the execution of the flow here, right? And both artists done a really good job. And that's obviously, you know, not breaking down their bars and looking at what they said and all this sort of stuff. Just purely from a kind of easy listening perspective, right? The flow was good and the delivery was good. And they also took the time to switch things up. You know, Miss Banks and JAY1 in the first segment of their verse, they kind of had this bouncy flow, which was kind of, you know, matching the bounce of that melody. But then when the drums hit, they completely switched their flows up. For Miss Banks, we got a much more pacey up rhythm to her flow. But JAY1 took the other approach and went a little bit more laid back, a little bit more casual. And I even noted in the video that you can hear that he drops his tone slightly to kind of match the way that he wants to deliver that part of the verse. So yeah, absolute, again, top marks on that side. Okay, that's it from me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one.